The new Premier League season is here. Can Liverpool keep their crown, or is a new champion waiting in the wings? Which promoted side has what it takes to stay up? Are West Ham set for a step forward or a stumble? And what's the real meaning behind fall through? Hello and welcome to this pre-season special of the Footglish podcast. I'm Zdenek Lukas, and here on the Footglish podcast, we mix football and English like Pep Guardiola mixes formations. Sometimes genius, sometimes complete nonsense, but always worth watching or listening to, because this is a YouTube video, but also an audio podcast. And as always, we've got a guest, and today is none other than Ben from the To The Point English YouTube channel. Ben, welcome back to the podcast.
Hi, Zdenek. Thank you for having me on again. It's a pleasure to be here, as always.
Lovely to have you back. And the first question is obvious. The Premier League season is here. It's starting this weekend. So are you buzzing for it?
Yes, I'm trying to get up. To be honest, and I think I'm getting old, and I don't want to be a grumpy old man, but I found last season was probably the most boring season for a long time, especially as a West Ham fan. I mean, it was just a nothing season. We weren't in Europe. We did nothing. You know, the only special aspect of last season for West Ham was that we finished above Man United and Tottenham, which is surprising because I think we finished 15th and they were 16th and 17th. So yeah, I'm trying. I mean, there are interesting things that can happen next season. So I'm trying to get worked up for it, but hopefully West Ham can at least just survive in the Premier League for another season. I think that's the objective at the moment.
I feel you. I have to say, I had a bit of a crisis myself. I think I was just overwhelmed with football last season.
Right.
And then, I mean, in the spring part of the season, I realized that I had been watching less and less of football. And even episodes of this podcast were less frequent. So I think maybe we are just like sort of bombarded by so much football that it's just untenable for us. We can't take it anymore. I don't know.
I think it's very different. I mean, I am old enough to remember like the 90s. That was the peak when the Premier League started, for example. And I just remember a lot of legends and characters in the game, like Cantona, Gascoigne, even Ginola or Henry. A lot of nowadays it doesn't. I mean, you have fantastic players, amazing players like Salah and Haaland and De Bruyne, and loads of great quality players. But you don't. I think it's also the style of football is more technical nowadays. It's probably a higher level of just better football in general. But for me, it's not as exciting. I think it's partly because I'm a grumpy old man too. So it's just that
me too, probably.
Yeah.
But despite all that, right?
Yeah.
I think when there is a new season, it feels kind of like a fresh start. Like you're turning over a new leaf, right? And it's all sort of like starting again. And I think beginnings are always nice. Whatever it is, whether it's a relationship or starting a new podcast or listening to a new podcast. Hopefully, if you guys are new listeners, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget, right? And it's always nice. It's like that honeymoon period, right?
Yeah, it's all, and I like the fact that Crystal Palace won the Community Shield. I think that's a good start because it's not just going to be the same. Usually it's Man City or Liverpool and any of the other big teams, and so that makes it a little bit more interesting. And hopefully, it won't be like last season. I mean, I guess last season was interesting because you had Man United and Tottenham almost getting relegated, but I don't think they were never really in danger of getting relegated. They just focused their attention on the Europa League. But yeah, it's always the start of the season's always interesting when you've got all the new players coming in and you're seeing how they're going to fit in and how which players are going to stand out, because you expect Haaland and Salah and those to start scoring goals, but it doesn't always happen that way.
And as a football fan, basically everybody's at the starting line. Like when you are about to run in a marathon, you all have kind of the same chance, right, to win it. I mean, you don't really, but you know what I mean. It
Yeah,
feels
you
like
can
that.
be.
Everybody has 0 points, so
Yeah,
uh,
whatever happened last season, you kind of
yeah,
forget about that. Yeah, I'm
exactly.
sure, again, like Tottenham and Man United fans will be thinking they can qualify for Europe at the Champions League, probably, even though they were almost relegated last year. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. Yeah, every team has different objectives. I still think that although West Ham were in Europe a couple of seasons ago, our objective every year is just to not get relegated. And I think all the three teams that got promoted, they're always the favourites to get relegated, and
true.
they'll just have to do their best to fight to
Speaking of
stay.
which,
Hmm.
why don't we do our predictions
Okay, yeah, sure.
here and now? And perhaps we could start with the winner of the Premier League. Who do you think will clinch the title this time? So last season it was the Liverpool, so they are the current holders, as we say.
Yeah,
So do you think they will reclaim the title?
I think that they're definitely favourites,
Hmm.
but I'm gonna be a little bit controversial, and I think Arsenal's time might be coming. I know it won't make you happy, but
Yeah, yeah. You can
I think
come
it.
on this podcast anytime, Ben.
Well, I just get a feeling that Liverpool. I don't know because they were great last year, but I think Arsenal have. It might just all come together this year, and Arteta might just make everything click. I think they've made some new signings, some interesting new signings.
Yeah,
Couldn't tell you the
Gyökeres,
names, but
Victor Gyökeres, the striker, I think is
right,
the biggest name probably
yeah,
from the Portuguese league.
hmm,
And
yeah,
yeah, there's some other names like Madueke and Zubimendi,
uh-huh.
and I'm probably forgetting about some more as well. But those would be, I guess, the biggest names.
And they've still got they've got Rice and Saka and
Yeah,
the quality and the really good defensive
yeah,
players. So
true.
maybe it'll all click for Arsenal. And I mean, you can't ignore Liverpool. That I think they're probably the
Yeah,
best team in Europe, perhaps. I don't know. That's a bit of a that's maybe going a little bit too far, but on paper, Liverpool are probably the best team in the Premier
yeah.
League. But I've got a feeling about Arsenal this season.
Liverpool, they were really dominant last year, and
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they won it again, especially since they got such amazing signings,
Yeah.
like, such as Florian Wirtz. I mean, he's a German wonder kid, and I
Mhm.
was
Right.
watching him because there's a Czech player at Bayer Leverkusen, Patrick Schick. So I was watching some Leverkusen games, and this guy, this Florian Wirtz, oh my god, he's something else. He
Yeah.
is a real deal for
Really?
Liverpool. But you know
Yeah.
what? I think there is this, of course, sad, really, really tragic moment for Liverpool when they lost Diego Jota because he had
Yeah.
a car accident and he passed away. So I
Yeah.
think that's something that they have to get over as well. And yeah, who knows? Who knows what will happen this year? And
Yeah. You don't know how those kind of things can
yeah,
affect a team. Obviously, it's tragic. Him and his brother passing away in the car
yeah,
accident, and that's the most important thing. But Liverpool have to now maybe, and partly for him, try to regather, and it can have like a bonding effect on the team, and it's like literally that. Let's do it for Jota, and it gives them that
exactly.
extra
That's
motivation, or
motivational. Yeah.
or it may be a distraction. Who knows? But
Yeah.
we'll see as the season progresses. But yeah,
Exactly. It could go either way. But
hmm,
also, we have Manchester City. I would say they have something to prove as well, right? Pep Guardiola. I think isn't this his last season or something? Hasn't he announced a while back that this would be his last season? Am I
I
am I
read
wrong?
something about that. I don't know if it's official yet, but I think he was talking about it. Yeah,
Am
I
I
don't
wrong
think he's.
about this?
I think
Yeah.
he's not the kind of person that would. I think it depends on how they. If they win the Premier League, he'll probably say that's
Yeah.
the last
He
season. But
wants
I
to
think,
leave on a high, doesn't he?
yeah, he's so competitive. I think, yeah,
He is extremely competitive and he's used to winning. And obviously, I mean, a blip can happen, right, to anyone. So I think one season where things didn't go well for them, that's fine. But now
yeah,
I'm sure he wants to be back. I'm sure he
yeah,
will do anything he can to make that happen.
yeah.
And also, we should mention probably Chelsea because they won the Club World Cup.
Hmm.
Um, no matter what you think about that competition, it
Mhm.
still has some sort of significance, I think. And it,
Yeah.
to say the least, it has probably improved their confidence, hasn't it?
Mhm. Yeah, if nothing else, it's improved their confidence. And Chelsea are such a strange team with so many players out on loan. I mean, I've never. It's difficult to know what they're going to do, but yeah, you can't ignore them. You can't ignore
No.
Man City. You can't even ignore Man United and Tottenham. I don't think they're going to be pushing
Well,
for the title, but I think
if,
there's so many big clubs in England that.
I, I'm not sure, but if you look at Tottenham, they made a lot of changes. Like, look at their
Mm.
signings; they've got some really big names now,
Mhm.
and also they have a new manager, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Thomas Frank, I think, is Premier League proven, and he did an amazing job at Brentford. So
Yeah,
i-
but
if
some
anyone
people.
can do it, it could be him, you know. And then with these new signings, new energy, don't you think that they might be strong this time?
Well, you say if anyone can do it, it might be him, but I seem to remember people saying that about Mourinho and Conte and Pochettino
Postecoglou,
and then Postecoglou. Yeah,
yeah.
and they're all good managers, fantastic managers, but it's almost seems like an impossible job. I mean, they
Well,
did win. What did they win last year? They won
they
something, didn't
won.
they?
They
Oh, they
won
won the Europa
something.
League. Yeah,
They
they
won
actually won a
Europa League.
trophy.
So,
Yeah,
if they now won a trophy, we have always been making fun of them
yeah.
for not winning anything. But if they
Oh.
now manage to win a trophy, anything could happen.
But they win a trophy finally, and they sack their manager immediately. So I mean,
Typical,
it
typical
was.
Tottenham.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a strange season, wasn't it? They finally won a trophy, but they almost got relegated at the same
Okay.
time. So
So
it's all
so
strange.
top four: Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal, and then do you think Chelsea, or who do you think will be there?
It's difficult. I'd like to be interesting and say something. I mean, Newcastle could be up there, but Notts Forest did really well last year, but I can't see them maintaining it. So yeah, you can't look past those four teams. I think for me, it's Arsenal maybe to win it, Liverpool, City second and third. Yeah, unfortunately, it's probably Chelsea. But I mean, maybe Man United. I mean, Amorim, is that his name?
Yeah, yeah.
Amorim?
Ruben Amorim
He's maybe he's I don't know.
cooking
It's
something
so
for us.
yeah. Maybe he's worked it out. Finally cracked the
They,
code, the
they
Man
bought
United code.
Mbeumo, right? Brahim Mbeumo
Yeah,
from.
and yeah, Mbuemo, and someone else. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They've
I don't have
made a
it here
couple
in
of
front
interesting
of me,
signings.
but yeah, like you always have some changes in teams, and it could,
Yeah.
do something with the.
But I think it's a bit like Tottenham. At the moment, there's a problem, an intrinsic problem with the culture of Man United. It doesn't matter who the manager is. To a certain extent, it doesn't matter who the players are. There's
That is
some
true. There's
deeper.
something rotten there.
Yeah,
Yeah, as
yeah,
maybe Gary Neville would say. So
yeah.
yeah, it's true. It's true. How about the newly promoted teams? So you mentioned that they might be favorites to get relegated. So we've got Burnley,
Hmm.
Leeds United with a lot of Premier League experience. Of course, these teams are yo-yo clubs. You could say
Yeah,
Burnley,
yeah.
and what was the other one?
Leeds, you said?
Leeds, sorry, Leeds
Yeah,
United, of course. And
yeah.
then we have got one team that is coming back after a longer break, and that's Sunderland.
Hmm.
And obviously, everybody knows the documentary Sunderland Till I Die. So I think this is a big story as well.
Hmm.
And they bought Granit Xhaka, I think,
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
from Leverkusen, an ex-Arsenal player. So yeah, you never know. It might not be all of them going down this time.
Well, I hope not, because if that's just what always happens, then it becomes very predictable and a bit boring.
Yeah,
And for those teams, it's it's a bit
Timo. Yeah,
demoralizing, and for the fans, they get have a 1 year in the Premier League and then they've got to go back down. I mean, I don't know. It's just not good for football. I think if the same teams that get
yeah.
promoted get relegated again, there's something wrong with the structure there, the
That's
infrastructure.
true.
So
That's true.
so yeah, hopefully they won't all. I mean, as long as West Ham don't go down, I would be happy if there was three different teams, not
Make, makes
the same
makes
teams.
sense. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Golden Boot.
Um, Callum Wilson.
No. I think
We've just signed him, so
I
no,
think you're being sarcastic here because I
I am
think
a
West
little bit.
Ham fans, they are not happy about this signing
Not
at
really, no.
all.
It's a bit. It's just a nothing signing, really. It's a typical West Ham
Yeah.
nothing signing. Golden Boot. I probably maybe Isak or Haaland. Salah, obviously, Salah will be up there, but he's going to have. Had a great season last year, I think, but
It
he's
could
going to
be
start
Haaland
dropping off.
again, right? Haaland,
Yeah,
like,
Haaland has to come back. I
he has
imagine.
to prove
Mm,
himself again, I think. So
Yeah,
it might be him.
yeah. But
Yeah.
Isak, I don't. It looks like Isak's staying at Newcastle in the end. So maybe if
Is he?
he moved on, I think so. Yeah. Well, I don't know, but anything can happen in these last few weeks.
Okay.
But yeah, Haaland. I think you can't look past
Okay.
Haaland.
All right. So let me ask you a few questions about West Ham now. So
Mhm,
um, there's a connection. I'm from the Czech Republic, so there's a
mhm,
connection to the Czech league again because you bought a player called El Hadji Malik Diouf, who
mhm.
played for Slavia Prague, and he was like the best player of the league, to be
Oh,
honest.
really?
So
Yeah.
what do you make of him? Did you watch any preseason friendlies?
I've seen a little bit, not much, but he looks very good. Yeah, I'm quite excited about him. We have some kind of connection with Slavia Prague because
Yeah,
with Souček. Um, oh my God, he's just left, and I can't remember his name.
so far.
Tofal. Yeah,
He
sorry.
also left the club, so
Exactly, he left the club. Yeah, and he's I'd
yeah.
say a legend of West Ham. After I think he was
Mm.
4 or 5 years at West Ham. He's very
Not sure
popular.
about
So
the status of a legend, but I think he stayed in some fans' hearts, and
yeah, he's
that's good
popular,
enough.
very
I think
popular. Yeah.
that's good enough.
And Souček. Yeah. So yeah, El Hadj. I can't pronounce his whole name
El
yet. I
Hadji
will.
Malik Diouf, so he's a
Sorry.
winger. He's a
Yeah.
left winger, a left-footed left winger, which is always, hot property. And he's fast. He has amazing crossing ability and good decision making. But
Mhm,
also, we have to say he's only 20 years old,
mhm,
so there will still be. I think he will need some bedding. Like there will have to be a bedding period, right?
mhm. Yeah, but I mean, I think in one preseason friendly we won. I don't know if it was 2-0 or 2-1, and he provided both the crosses and the
Yeah.
amazing crosses for the goals. And with Füllkrug, um, a big German striker, I mean, he didn't do much last season, but if they're putting crosses onto his head like that, then he could get a few goals. Could be
Mhm.
interesting. So yeah, I'm quite happy about that signing and optimistic.
I think also we need to mention Paqueta, Lucas Paqueta, the
Mhm.
midfielder, creative midfielder, who uh, was cleared of his match spot fixing charges, max fixing or spot fixing charges. So I
Yeah.
think that's definitely good news for you as well, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and hopefully he can focus on football now because I think it possibly has been a bit distracted over the last couple of seasons, and that I mean, hopefully West Ham will be compensated for that because it's disgusting if he's been found completely innocent of all
Yeah,
match fixing charges.
yeah,
Then it's clear that first of all he was linked to Man City a couple of seasons ago. We were going to sell him for quite a lot of money. That
true,
fell through because of these charges. And I
yes,
think he hasn't been the player he could have been
exactly,
due to these charges. So yeah, I mean, he's an amazing player. He's a regular in the Brazilian national team. So
yeah,
I think every big team, I know West Ham are maybe not a big team, but you need a player like Paqueta, sort of a playmaker that can make things happen in the
true,
center of midfield.
true.
So I'm glad yeah, if it hadn't been the reality is if it hadn't been for these match fixing charges, he wouldn't be a West Ham player now. We would have sold him at least a season ago. So
So it kind of worked out for you. But what didn't
yeah,
work out? Well, it's a question. Did it work out for you? Because you sold Mohamed Kudus. So is that a good thing because you made a lot of money? Like it's not
yeah.
you the fan who made the money, it's the club.
Just
But
depends what
still,
they do with that. Yeah,
yeah, do they buy someone else, right? I think was it around 50 million
I think
pounds
it was
or
more than
something?
that. I think it was.
Was it? That's
Hang
a
on, I'm going to
lot.
check it. I thought it was. Yeah, I
50,
thought it was more
60
than
or
that.
70 or something in that region. And
I thought it
that's a
was
lot
up
of
to
money. And he of all teams
55 million pounds. Yeah, I think
55.
that's.
So
Yeah,
yeah, so of all
yeah,
teams, he went to Tottenham,
yeah.
and
Now
that's also
it
surprising.
hurts a little bit more. Yeah, I loved Kudus in his first couple of seasons. I was really excited about him, and I think he's a fantastic player. He's the typical player that will be really good for any other team, Tottenham in this case.
Yeah.
He didn't quite do it for West Ham last season. I think he was
Yeah.
we always just expected a little bit more from him, and he didn't quite make it. He didn't quite kick on.
It seemed to me
So
like he didn't try hard enough at some point. Like he sort of gave up. Like,
yeah, he's a very skillful player, and he's
yeah.
got a great shot on him. And I think he'll be great for Tottenham, unfortunately. But it's one of those things. I don't think he would have developed much more at West Ham. So I'm sad to see him go, but I'm really sad the fact that we can't develop players like that. Players that
Yeah.
seem to. I don't know if it's that they're not interested in doing it for West Ham, or we just.
I don't know. But
Mm,
like to me, he didn't seem like a team player. So it
yeah,
looked like all the time he played on himself. Like he only dribbled, didn't pass the ball at all. And
yeah,
I think some of his teammates might have been a bit frustrated about that. So from
yeah,
that point of view, maybe this is a healthier situation for you. You
yeah.
will see. Only time will show if this was the right move for West Ham or not.
Yeah, and we got quite decent money for it, so I think we made a bit of a profit. And yeah, it depends how they spend the money, but I think this is Graham Potter's first full season in charge, so now he can. And he's a lot of players have left. They've just their contracts weren't renewed. Like Fabianski, it was quite sad.
Yeah,
Cresswell had been at West Ham for over 10 years, I think, and
that's true.
Fabianski a long
That's
time.
true.
Um,
Vlad.
uh, Vlad
Vladimir
Gucek,
so far, yeah.
so fell. So yeah. Um,
And the striker, what's
And
his name? Because
Antonio, Mikel
that's
Antonio?
Antonio as well, yeah.
Yeah, he's
What about that striker? What's his name? Oh my god, from Aston Villa. Can't remember his name now.
from Aston Villa.
That striker that didn't play much, he was always on bench.
Oh, Danny Ings.
Danny Ings, yeah. What did
Yeah,
he did
he's gone
used
to
to play for Aston Villa, right? I think so.
yeah, he played for Southampton, Villa. Yeah, I think Villa for a bit, or well, it was at Liverpool. I can't remember who we signed him from, but yeah, he's.
Yeah.
I think we had to let those players go. I mean, it was like, thank you very much for your service, but now's the time to go. And I think that was kind of a clean out a little bit. And
Yeah,
now
yeah, yeah.
Potter gonna
Getting rid of the dead wood, as they say.
exactly,
But
yeah.
how about Tomáš Souček? Because to me it looks like the captain of the Czech national team doesn't have the same kind of position as he used to have
Mhm.
in the previous seasons. Because it turns out that he doesn't start games in preseason. So
No,
what's going on there? Is he getting phased out of the team, of the first team? You
I don't.
think
Maybe
or
it's just Potter's trying different formations. I don't know what the idea is. I mean, we have a lot of midfield players, and it's difficult. Souček is he's been great for West Ham, and hopefully he will continue to be great for West Ham, and hope because he scores goals
yeah?
and he's integral to the team. So I don't know. I don't know what Potter's thinking there because he's a survivor. Souček is all the
Yeah, he's
whatever
always
has
staying
happened.
positive. Like I think even if he really starts on bench, he
Hmm.
will be positive. He won't grumble, and
No,
that's
it's a
him. That's his
profession. Yeah.
person. He's a professional. He's a true professional. And I think what might happen is after a few bad games, he will be back in the starting 11 because that's the
Yeah.
kind of guy he is. He never gives up. He's
Yeah.
always there and thereabouts. And it's
Hmm.
just Tomáš Souček for you. And when you need goals, you can always rely on him. So I'm yeah, I don't know what to think about this. Even some Czech fans are divided on him, which is a
Yeah.
surprise. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's also kind of like 50-50 in the Czech sort of football environment.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
he's proven himself. It's just I think we spoke about this before. He just doesn't look like a typical football player, and the way he moves.
Yeah.
So I think that is quite
Awkward. Yeah.
yeah, it's quite awkward, but he gets the job done, and you can't argue with what he's done over the last few years. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes Paqueta, it can be extremely frustrating. He's got the skills. It's almost the opposite to
Yeah.
Souček. He's
Yeah.
very skillful, very natural football player, but
Exactly.
sometimes he doesn't perform. He's a bit
Yeah.
temperamental. Like one game he could be the man of the match, and the next game he disappears. But Souček is always there, always
Always
performing. So yeah,
stable.
Yeah. So I don't know what will happen with Souček in the future, but hopefully he'll continue to. I mean, it's going to take a lot. There are a lot of changes at West Ham, so it's going to take some time. We probably won't start the season that well. We probably won't finish it very well either. But who knows? Hopefully, the jury is still out with Potter because he didn't have a good season last year. I think he's got the worst statistics of any West Ham manager in the last. Well, I can't remember what it was, but we've lost more games, or he's got the worst win to lose ratio of any West Ham manager. I think something like that. So, but I think we have to be patient. We have to give him a full season and see if he can make it happen. I mean, I'm not convinced, but I'm patient. I think West Ham fans have a reputation because of the Moyes situation, when it's like, he did well for us, but in the end we wanted him out because he wasn't taking us to the next level. But generally West Ham fans are quite patient with their managers. We've had very long-term managers, so I think most West Ham fans would want Potter to be given a full season to show what he can do, unless we're sort of in the relegation zone in March. Then we'd have to think about
absolutely.
making
Well,
a change.
good luck to West Ham. And
Thank you.
I think we also have to ask you about the Fantasy Premier League. Do you play it?
I do, yeah. I've chosen my team already, although I may make some tweaks over the next few days before it starts. But
good old FPL, yeah. So here is the link. If any of you want to join the Footglish Podcast Mini League, it's 5VT960. 5 small v, small t, 96 small o. Or you can join through this link. It's also in the description of this episode. Okay, Ben, any last words before the start of the season?
No. Well, good luck to everyone's team. Hopefully, West Ham don't get relegated, and if we can get anywhere near Europe, then I'll be happy. But try and enjoy. I just hope it's more entertaining than last year. I found it quite boring last year's, but hopefully there'll be more attacking football and a bit more interesting. But maybe it's because I'm a West Ham fan that I found it so boring, because it was a pretty boring season for us.
Let's have a good season, whether you are a fan of one of the Premier League clubs or a neutral. It's still an exciting league to watch, of course. So let's have some fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ben, for being a guest on the Footglish Podcast. And if any of you guys need to study for the first certificate or CAE or the CPE exams, then Ben is your guy. Check out his YouTube channel, To The Point English, with Ben.
Thank you, Zdenek.
Lovely to have you back, and take care, Ben.
Cheers. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Welcome back to the Language Corner. If this is your first time listening, then let me tell you what this is. Basically, this is a segment of this show, the second part of the show, where I showcase my teaching skills. That's right, I'm an English teacher, so I have to teach you something. I still want this podcast to be more about football than about explaining grammar, vocabulary, and whatnot, but also you have to learn something from this, right? So today I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, and that's because I think the interview was quite long. So let's have a look at one little phrasal verb. This is what Ben said when we were talking about Lucas Paqueta. He said, we were gonna sell him to Man City for a lot of money, but it fell through due to the charges. So we are looking here at the phrasal verb to fall through. So the situation was that Lucas Paqueta was worth a lot of money, and Manchester City wanted to buy Lucas Paqueta from West Ham United, and I think West Ham United were prepared to let Lucas Paqueta go. However, it didn't happen. It didn't materialize. And the reason for it was the charges, because suddenly out of nowhere, there was this spot fixing or match fixing scandal that Lucas Paqueta was allegedly involved in, and therefore his price went down, rapidly went down, and suddenly Man City were not interested in him anymore. The plan fell through, or what they were negotiating, the negotiations fell through. If something falls through, usually it's a plan or negotiations or something like that, then it means it does not happen. It does not materialize. It fails, right? Usually we really use this phrasal verb with the word plan. Okay, so that's the phrasal verb for today. That's the phrasal verb of the day, if you want. And all that remains to say is thank you very much for listening and watching, everyone. Don't forget to smash that like button. It is something that you need to do right now because obviously it will make me super happy. Anyway, I'm rambling. It's high time this podcast episode came to a close. Let me wrap it up. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and until next time, bye-bye.